Hey YouTube, Silence here with Airsoft Team OSMD with another tech tip. Today I'm going to be showing you how to bridge or to bypass one of these old style Marui electrical safeties. So this is a selector plate, and as you can see it has a copper contact on it. That copper contact is designed that when you switch it into safe, it moves away from these contacts and does not complete them. So when you move to safe, the gun will no longer fire. That creates a problem though. It's a redundant safety because you already have a mechanical safety that keeps you from being able to pull the trigger. So you don't need this. This creates more problems because sometimes you'll be in semi, it's supposed to be firing and it won't. So what you have to do is, you'll notice if you hold down the trigger and touch this and press it so it touches these, so it gets closer to the gearbox, the gun will fire. But as soon as you let go, it won't, because there's a small gap underneath here until you press down so it touches. So what do you do to fix this? Well, you could get a new trigger switch that doesn't have this design. SHS has them. Most of the newer guns do not use this design, but I figured out a way to get around it. So all you need is a small piece of wire that's stripped. This is 16 gauge. I stripped it down to 20 gauge. 18 gauge might work too. And then I dremeled a little notch right here, so I can slip it right between these two like that. And the key is you don't want it up here where it's on the top, because this is going to be sliding across. Actually, this can be removed altogether. This copper contact on top of here can actually be pulled off. I'll do that later off camera. So I have my soldering iron going. All I really need to do is tin this up. So I'll do that right now. Just need solder. So this might be a little bit longer than the usual, but it's important. This is actually the first time I've had to bypass this. I mean, I've bypassed them before, but this is actually the first time that I had this idea, and it's a good idea. Anyway, so you should be able to see me tin this up. I use 6040 Kester 44 solder rosin core because it tins really nicely. And then I use a Weller SPL 40 watt soldering iron, which also works really well. So this is going to need a lot of solder on it for when we try and bridge these. Now, that's tinned, so first step is done. Careful, that's going to be hot for a while. Now, we need to apply solder to prep each of these prongs here. So I'm going to apply solder. I'm going to heat up. Actually, I'm going to clean most of the solder off of my tip, and then I'm going to hit it and apply just a little bit to the outside edge, like that, and try not to get any on the top if possible. There, I failed a little bit. I'm trying to move some of that out of the way. So I have a little bit there. Now, because I dremeled this little notch here, I can hold the wire with the insulation right up against it, and I should be able to melt one side at a time and put it down in the recess so it doesn't get in the way. So let's see if I can do that. Looks like I was able to do that on the one side. Let's see if I can do it on the other side too. Sorry if I was blocking your view. So it appears that I was able to bridge both connections. So now all I need to do is test that the selector plate can go over it. So I'm going to take off this copper contact because I don't need it anymore. So take pliers and pull that off. So now there's no copper contact. So this selector plate should be able to slide right over it. If it can't, we got a problem. But it does. So it slides right over. No problems. because I was able to keep the solder and the wire flush with the gearbox shell. If you don't have it flush, it's going to hit it. Now, I got to get rid of this extra that I got, right? So I'll take a Dremel, and all I got to do is cut it off, and it's good to go.